Good afternoon, Roshan. Thank you so much for joining me in this segment for the Reaching Millions conference, celebrating 30 years with Home Free
Yeah.
USA. And I'm going to call this From Campus to Keys, finding a way to create home ownership from the college doors of an HBCU through the Center for Financial Advancement. So, Rashawn, would you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to be a student at Morgan State University?
Thank you, Luana. Thank you for having me. And it's a great opportunity to I get to share my story. So for everybody, my name is Roshan Gimire. I was an international student, and I'm from Nepal. And uh, joining the Morgan State University is kind of an interesting story because first when I came in, I came to the university, which was in Topeka, Kansas, and there I was studying business administration, but I kind of feel like I wasn't fitting in at the major I was doing, and so I was trying to find a way where I can fit more of my passion, and then I took a 2 years in community college after that to decide like if I wanted to choose my route or my major, and and the community college I did was in Baltimore. During that time, I was looking for to join the 4 year college, and I feel like even though I'm more like an entrepreneurial minded or I want to do something in the business in future, but I always have my uh head in the number game. I always like the stats and number, and I like to do the analytical stuff. So, and I found out that actual science program Morgan has, which would be really best fit for me. And then I talked to the advisor, and they had a good scholarship opportunity for the minority students. And being an international Asian student, I was a minor, so and the campus was close to my house, and, and everything perfectly fit in. And the major was what I really needed. It has a math as well as all the business aspect to it. So, and that's how I came to Morgan.
Oh, that's a very interesting story. So, being an international student of Asian descent, how was your experience participating in an HBCU?
So I think for me joining SBCU, I could really relate to the talk and the hardship that all the minority has been going through. Because being a Asian is already a minor, but as an international student, I was even more. I was a minor at even at the first when I went to the college in Kansas. Then I came to the Morgan, but the opportunity that I got in Morgan was because HBCU really. Uh, I cannot talk about all the universities, but the Morgan really wants us to push our boundaries, and we all have a hardship background stories. Like everybody has come from a different background, but everybody has faced those minority issues during their lifetime, and I could really relate to that. And I think those hardship and those issues we felt also had given us the opportunity because there were so many doors and opportunities and scholarship opportunities within the Morgan that would be provided to the student like us, which I wasn't getting when I first came to the United States in a different universities, because the focus for this university was to make sure everybody has the opportunity and the place where they can speak and make a make a decision for their life and grab the opportunity if it comes to the door. And I think that's what I really found at the Morgan.
Oh, that's amazing. So, Rashawn, what led you to become a part of the Center for Financial Advancement? I think you are a foundational member. You were a founding member of the first Center for Financial Advancement at Morgan. What drew you to that opportunity?
So I'm like, they're always an interesting story, but when I was in Morgan, mm, Home for USA, I think had a collaboration with Wells Fargo to get an internship opportunity to the student at SBCU in different nonprofit, and I was among one of those candidate, and I had an interview with Milan and going, and those are the first two people I met, and I get to learn more about Home Free and what it does, and that really fascinated me because as an international student, my main focus has always been to get my study done, and I'm always worrying about my visa and stuff. But I never thought about the aspect of my financial literacy or like how to build my wealth and how to path of the home ownership. But when I learned about the home free and when I talked to Milan and Gwen, I came to know a glimpse about that, and I really wanted to learn more. And see, and then they were gonna introduce CFA to the Morgan, and I was like, I think this is gonna be a really good fit for me because before that I have never really given any thought about my credit score. I never bothered checking my credit score and how would that affect me in the future. And joining the CFA, they taught me how to be financially literate, like how can you build your credit score and how what game plan you can make if you want to build a wealth in the United States, because the culture here is so different than back in home, because in Nepal they don't have a credit score. They don't have
Mm.
anything like that. So my parents were never aware of it, and my nobody was aware of it. And me being here and learning more about building a wealth, building a path, and building a foundation to make a good and wise decision on your financial. Because I have seen so many international student who has gone broke using like four or
Mhm.
five credit card, maxing them out, and luckily I didn't do that. But I was still I still have like three, four credit card because I didn't know how that would impact me in the future if I didn't pay everything in time. But joining the CFA, that really gave me a guideline and provided me a pathway for me to focus on what I want to do with my future and how I can step up my game. And I wanted to be example for my upcoming students and my brother and sister, and I think that really helped me being in the CFA and joining the Morgan and
Oh,
HomeFree-USA.
thank you so much for sharing that. So, I love your story about how you came in contact with the Center for Financial Advancement at Morgan. What motivated you to pursue home ownership at such a young age? So can you talk us through that journey? What supports did you receive from the Center for Financial Advancement and HomeFree-USA? Because I'm sure, having an international background, not necessarily having the idea of a credit score. So what motivated you to become a homeowner and what helped you along that journey?
I mean, to be honest, all the credit that I'm for now, like I already proceeded my second home and my journey to the first home. I want to give all my credit to the CFA and the Home Free USA, because I've heard there's a saying I've heard, like you are always gonna be average of five people around you.
Mm.
And being with the Home Free and the Home Free team, I was always around the people who were always trying to motivate me, Miss Frida and Nick and Gwen, Milan, Jim, Marcia. They are always trying to motivate me, and I could see that I had an opportunity here. And before that, I didn't have that enough courage, and I never thought about being a homeowner before. But when I came to home free and I joined the CFA, it gave me hope that I can do it too. And I feel that, and you say it's early years, but I still feel like I could have done it earlier, but I was still like too much I was confused, I was like, I was worried if I would not be able to make it, but with the guideline of Miss Frida, and I saw that Nick purchased his first home, and he really inspired me. I was like, he's been my like uh, friend for a long time, and like people like them really motivates me, and I thought I could do it too. But well, some of the obstacles, like being international student, during the first home, like you are on a visa, and sometimes it's really hard for you to get lender. And I think those are the aspect that I would like to like mortgage lending company to be like aware of, like, and I think should broaden their mind, like there are so many international student and doing a good job here after they graduate, and if they could make it easier for them, for us to get a home too, I think that would really motivate a lot of international students for being a homeowner.
Talk a little bit more about that because I would imagine that you have a different set of barriers being an international student, not being a US citizen, um, finding that path, finding a lender. Can you talk a little bit about some of those obstacles that you faced?
So one of the main obstacle is that, and I think it's for some reason I think it's reasonable. they would look at our passport and see how long we have the visa for. And the system with the United States is you don't get a visa for like 10 years or 20 years. So, but there's a way if you are here, you can always extend the visa. And I think that was one of the reason. And one of the lender also, I think it was one of the lender I was talking to myself from the third party. They were like trying to like get a co-signer who already has a green card or is a citizen for me to get a house. But like getting a house and having somebody co-sign it's not an easy process because you're gonna be with that loan for 30 years, and people who don't want to do that, and I would understand that too. So it was hard at first, uh, but they saw me like I have had a good credits for since my college because I've been with the Home Free and CFA before I graduated. So they saw that I've been in a good path. I have a good credit score. I had like 800 and above credit score maintained for a long time. I still have like almost 790 and 800 most of the time. So I try to keep maintaining that. And when they saw that, they 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 thought I can do it. But not all the international students come from the same background as me or had opportunity like Home Free or CFA and to pursue a home, so sometimes they get charged high interest rate because because of that small aspect, like they have a limited visa. And that was one of the main challenges I've faced, and getting a home.
So what have been some of the benefits that you've experienced being an early homeowner? What are some of the benefits that you've had from home ownership?
So it really taught me financial management, like how to manage your finances and money management. Like I have to be able to, cause I'm renting my first house, but you never know when somebody's gonna leave the house. So you always have to have that back in your mind, like you need to have some saved for your next installment, because even though right now you have somebody else paying for your house, you never know, you might have to have your mortgage pay for the next month. Also, there's always, and it taught me like there always can be an emergency, like something may break down in their house and you got to be able to fix that. So it really made me forward thinking, like I'm thinking like so much in future right now, just to be on the safe side that I can do it. And thirdly, it also taught me how to be a entrepreneur, or like talk to people and be a good human resource, because I'm talking to people like tenant, I'm talking to electrician, sometimes I'm talking to a plumber, and those are the small stuff, but they teach you a lot, about getting a home. So because I had a first home and I knew what kind of issue you can have, because the problem that house might face. So when I got my second home, I had my those checklist off. I took the, okay, I gotta make sure this is good. I gotta make sure they have a good outlet panel and everything. Those are the small stuff, but they can add up to your cost when you get a home, because getting a home is not that hard. But once you get a home, try to keep it maintained and have all the repairs work done. It might cost you a lot. So those are the things that really taught me with my home ownership.
What advice would you give other international students or young professionals who are considering joining CFA, connecting to HomeFree-USA, or purchasing a home in the US?
I mean, to put it in a simple word, I would say nothing is impossible. Like you really gotta be able to be reach out. Unless you reach out, people are not gonna know what you want. So you always gotta let people know like what you want to do in the future. You gotta let them know. Not like you gotta lay it out, but you gotta, suppose you find somebody who you think can be a good mentor or good advisor in the future. You gotta let him know what you're thinking to do in the future. So and next thing is you gotta be able to be uncomfortable, because once you start getting comfortable, people do not push themselves. So I was always trying to keep myself uncomfortable. Like joining the CFA is uncomfortable, joining HomeFree-USA is uncomfortable. Like everything is uncomfortable at the beginning, but you gotta be able to push yourself, and never hesitate to ask. Always ask questions. Always ask for something. The max they can say is no. and you're not gonna lose anything. You gotta be able to ask, because you never know. It's nothing gonna hurt on that. Because one of the reason I'm with the HomeFree-USA was when they announced the internship program for Morgan, it was written it was only for the US citizen. But I was like, I'll still apply for it.
Mhm.
I may get it, I may not get it. The least they can say is no, and it's not gonna change anything. But I got the opportunity and I got a chance to share my story with Milan and Gwen, and that's how we connected. And we've been here for like almost 5, 6 years now, So, and I have a beautiful, they are my beautiful family, and they helped me a lot. Like, and I got a good mentor. Like everything, if I want to reach out to somebody, I have so many people I can dial. Miss Frida is there, Nick is there, Jim is there, Marcia is there. Like, it's not like in the big organization you can like reach out to anybody you want, but here you have everybody in your close circle, and I think that really matters for me, and being with the HomeFree-USA.
Oh, that is amazing, Roshan. So thank you again for participating in this interview. From campus to keys, you are showing that it can be done. Now a two-time homeowner, now with rental property. So we could not be more proud of you, and what a great story to share as a part of HomeFree-USA's 30-year anniversary.
Thank you.
So thank you again, Roshan. Thank you
Welcome.
also, HomeFree-USA, the Center for Financial Advancement, and Morgan State University.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the time, Luana.
Absolutely.